1.46, try it from OpenStax PreCalculus. Given a function, an absolute value function, and asked to solve for the x values, that makes the output of this function equal to 0. In other words, solve this equation right here. And this is kind of a challenging equation to solve because it's got the absolute value symbols in there. But you can solve it by getting rid of the absolute value symbols, and the method that your book tells you to get rid of the absolute value symbols, which is the most standard way people do this, it's kind of described down here in this how-to. First, isolate the absolute value symbols. What I mean is move this 3 over to the other side. Now I have the absolute value of 2x minus 1 equals 3. And then your book kind of gives you some letters, some variables to describe what you do when you're solving. You got to be a little bit careful. I don't know. I don't really like what they do here. I understand what they're doing and it works. You just have to be careful, as you'll see down here in example 1.73. What I like to do is just kind of talk through things at this step. So I'm going to get rid of the absolute value symbols. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to think about how could this equation be true. Really, what would 2x minus 1 have to be to make this equation true? Well, 2x minus 1 could be equal to 3. That would make this equation true, because if 2x minus 1 were equal to 3, then I take the absolute value of 3, and sure enough, that's 3. But that's not the only way this could be true. That 2x minus 1 thing, that could also be equal to negative 3, because the absolute value of negative 3 is also equal to 3. So what I did is I got rid of the absolute value symbols by creating 2 different equations, which I'm now going to solve. Solve this one by adding 1 to both sides, and then dividing both sides by 2. Solve this one by adding 1 to both sides and then dividing by 2. And you get solutions of negative 1 and positive 2, which you can check if you feel like it. 4, 2 times 2, minus 1 is 3. Absolute value of 3 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Minus 1 is negative 3. The absolute value of negative 3 is positive 3. Positive 3 minus 3 is 0. You don't have to check them as long as you talk through this step really carefully. If you're just copying this and putting a negative in front of whatever numbers on this side and on one of the equations and making positive on the other, you might want to check your answers.